Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is the G3 podcast. This is your host, BJG, along with, of course, Captain Mike. What is up? It's a Friday. It's 9:05 as always. Sabi ko sa inyo, it's kind of 9-ish Filipino time-ish. We're going to be here for you guys for another awesome evening with you. Hanging out with us is always a great time. As you notice, medyo dalawa lang kami ngayon. Shout out to Noch, who is busy at the moment. Hopefully, you're enjoying your time. Pero marami ginagawa si paring Noch ngayon eh. So hopefully he gets to join us later on when he comes in.
Yep.
Sakto napansin ni Brother Brian. Sir Brian, nakabaon. Nagbaon ng something. He went outside. Went outside, inside, I'm not sure. Pero I'm pretty sure he's somewhere. Hopefully where it's comfortable. Pero dalawa lang po kami ngayon. And of course, joining me tonight is one of our favorite captains. Captain Mike, what is up, sir? How are you?
Hey, what is happening, boys and girls? This is your captain speaking. It's a Friday again. It's a G3 podcast again.
Yeah. We have quite the show for you this evening. And I know it's kind of a little bit backdated, but again, it's February, it's the time of love. It's that month of the year where you enjoy your romance with a lot of people. I'm pretty sure in whatever shape or form, you're going to be enjoying some time with your significant other. Shout out to the guys who are in the chat room right now. Felix Ackerman, welcome. Papi Rafi of YRP Gaming, what is up? JM Calimoso, hello.
What is up?
Of course, Sir Brian Lim, ang gail ng Pinas. What is up, guys? Welcome to the show. Just feel free to send in your likes and your shares. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some lovely couples that we like. Pero bago yan, ano bang meron, pare? Kamusta? Ako medyo maguling. I'm missing a gun, if you notice. You see that? There's that space on my grid. Na ewan ko saan nalagay yung... May isa pa akong revolver dyan. Hindi ko kaya kanina pa ako lingon. I can't sit well and not know where my toys are. Pero ikaw ba? Kamusta?
Obviously at home, di lumalabas. Obviously trying to get ourselves better, no? Kasi galing tayong bakasyon and we want to make sure na we don't spread the virus kasi we were nag-travel tayo, so we had to quarantine ourselves, and obviously in the process of quarantining kumbaga maging self-discipline lang sa atin lahat na when we go out, lalo na when you're traveling, pag uwi mo sa bahay, you just isolate yourself just for a bit lang at wala namang mawawala sa it's still obviously ako, I'm an avid fan of getting everyone vaccinated kasi mahirap na magkasakit. If you haven't, go get it. You'll thank me. And speaking of that, last week, you had yourself your booster, di ba?
Yeah. That was andaya nga eh. Kasi my son got himself vaccinated recently because have to have the kids vaccinated,
right.
And all that. So when I had my booster shot, it was a different kind of feeling. Astra. So I was preparing myself for what may come. Pero iba yung amats, pre. Iba yung, nanginig ako, nag-chills ako nag-chills ako ng the morning. And then the entire weekend, sakto, I was planning my day. Sabi ko, I'll finish everything that I need to do for the past week. Tapos kung magkasakit man ako, Sabado-Linggo na. Aba, natuloy nga, Sabado-Linggo may sakit ako. Pero I'm done with my third shot and what's funny,
it's not sakit. It's more of a adverse effect.
Right. Correct. True. It's not, I wouldn't call it adverse. It's really just whatever it wasn't fun. All right. I had to be wrapped in those, those one of those fucking insulation blankets, yung foil. Men, para ako liempo, pinoil ako dun sa kama para lang matigil yung kachichil ko. But that was just one day. And then after that, I was so hungry. I was sleepy all the time. I was groggy. It was quite an ordeal. The funny thing is, my son Yuri, the youngest, had his first shot. Nothing. He went straight to Roblox, and and he was even calling my attention that day when he went for his vaccine, and he kept using Spy and the demo man in Team Fortress 2. Parang napalala pa ng bakuna yung kaka Team Fortress siya kaka Roblox itong batang to. But I'm happy that we got it.
I'm happy then kasi ngayon the kids are now getting it. I hope na the faster we get to deal with this, the better. Comment section is also saying the AstraZeneca is also
Oo, Diyos ko po. Stanley Yoshida-kun!
Yes.
Ohayo!
Yoshida.
Yoshida-kun! Parin Brian, malakas yung amat, pero mas malakas yung gail mo. Yan ang sasabihin ko. Mas malakas yung gail mo sa Astra. Sabi ni Rafi, gutom nangyari sa akin, literal na gluttony. Parang yata yan depende sa mga deadly sins yan. Yeah. Talagang talagang kalokohan talaga. But anyway, I had a busy week. I was able to get some work done. And I just got back to playing with my brother again. So I'm not sure if he's in the chat room already, but we started playing Civilization again. Civ 6, kung naglalaro kayo ng Civ 6 mga kapatid, we enjoy playing it. It's a little race war. I don't know how things are sitting well with people right now. I mean, with all the the ethnic issues and the race and the diversity, here we are, pitting actual races against each other. Japan, Germany, against Montezuma and all that. Saya lang.
So I mean, it's really a good game lalo na if you have the time for it, kasi obviously those kinds of games talaga would really require you to sit and think and parang pag tinitingnan ko yung game sa YouTube, parang takot akong laruin kasi parang alam mo yung feeling ko na shit, I might mess this up just like how I would do my Sims.
It's actually fun. Unlike other, kasi turn-based board game online siya. So, it takes some turns. You have to work on your resources. You have to work on stuff. So, I can't play anything that's hyper-energetic kasi nga bangag-bangag ako sa Astra na. So a game of Civilization is a fun game to play. And in fact, there's a game. It's such a great game. It's been going along. It's been running for a long time. There is even a game that lasted for about 10 years. As in Civilization 3, I think yata yun. There's a game of Civilization 3 that these guys are playing. This one person is playing single player campaign, I think. And it's been going on for like 10 years. He hasn't changed his computer. He hasn't changed anything. He just kept playing it. And the campaign is still running 10 years after. It's on Google. Google it up. It's fun. It's crazy. One of the weirdest things you've ever learned from the internet right now. Years. Search lang. Civilization years. Gameplay. So,
wow.
Crazy.
I mean, ngayon nga, diba? Sabi ko nga last time, diba? Lalo na ngayon, today, especially whatever we're experiencing right now in the world, today is a great day to become a gamer. Lalo na you're stuck at home and doing all those stuff, no?
Right.
And there will be more to come. Ito nga, si Rafi was reacting naman, his reaction to the vaccine was bumili siya ng super meal for lunch, 8 pieces Japanese K-Folk roll, lemonade.
The 2 Jollibee super meal for lunch, tapos 8 pieces Japanese cake, footlong lemonade, milk tea, fried noodles, kinabukasan hypersoric, then drain ng end of shift. Baka di ka ba nahiya? Kinuha mo na rin sana yung McDo, friend. Parang naalala ko tuloy when Papi Rafi and I went out to buy Minute Burger and we bought like a table's worth of Minute Burger. Shout out Minute Burger, baka naman maalala niyo.
Oh, baka naman.
Tinakot pa ako nito eh. Tinakot pa ako may multo daw doon sa likod ng tricycle. Kaya ako naman, 3:00 ng madaling araw, napatras ako. Ayoko na. Uwi na tayo. Anyway, we have quite a fun story for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about something that is quite close to our hearts when we were growing up. And just as what Captain Mike said, things are just going to get better and bigger and more awesome than this. Let's get the day started, ladies and gentlemen, with of course, the news that we've covered and we've looked for the entire week. There's so many cool things that happened over the geek and nerd community in the past week, but we've picked our top three, and we're going to give them to you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. And here is your G3 news. Dun, 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 dun. Let's start off. Ladies and gentlemen, with a warning. Well, not really a warning, but more of a reiteration, right? Reiteration, so to speak. First news for the evening from CBR.com. Warner Brothers attempts to thwart, that's the word, that's operative word, thwart, Lord of the Rings films rights sale. Right. In a story written by Leon Miller in CBR, Warner Brothers issues a public statement reiterating the studio's position that it holds the big screen rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy trilogy. Warner Brothers recently insisted that it has sole control over the rights to make movies based on The Lord of the Rings, following rumors that the soulmates company is shopping these rights to other studios. In a statement made to Variety, a Warner Brothers spokesperson declared, Warner Brothers subsidiary New Line Cinema has maintained the theatrical film rights, both live action and animated, for over 2 decades now. Unquote. The spokesperson added, we are currently in production on our anime film, The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, and look forward to bringing audiences back to Middle-earth, quote unquote. Reports that Soulsense Company intended to auction off the movie, merchandising, gaming, and live event rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit first surfaced last week. We covered that in our last week's episode. These rights are also reported to include limited matching rights for 2 other works of Lord of the Rings creator J.R.R. Tolkien, The Silmarillion and The Unfinished Tales of Numenor and Middle-earth, should the author's estate greenlight any future adaptations of either book. For more information about this news, head on over to cbr.com/Lord of the Rings and look for Leon Miller's article about Warner Brothers' attempt to thwart the film rights sale. That is our first news for the evening. Up next, something really exciting just happened. And here is a news break from Nintendo Life, and it goes, thousands of dollars of rare factory sealed SNES games and Sega games were unearthed after 27 years in storage. This is an awesome article covered by NintendoLife.com. The article reads, when a video game store in Nebraska closed its doors for the final time in 1994, its entire stock was packed away and placed in storage, waiting for a new owner. Now, almost 30 years later, the stock has been unearthed and documented, and YouTube channel This Is Game Room was there to record it. In the video, the collection includes factory sealed SNES, Genesis, Saturn, 3DO, and Sega CD games. It's jaw-dropping stuff. If you guys have seen this video, it's crazy video. The highlights include Castlevania Bloodlines, Brainlord, Breath of Fire 2, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Sunset Riders, Contra Hardcore, TMNT Turtles in Time, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 3, and Secret of Evermore. We're talking thousands of dollars of new old stock here, mixed in with some more common titles like FIFA and Madden. As IGN points out, Turtles in Time is worth over $1,400 on its own factory sealed form, while Final Fantasy 3 can fetch up to $1,200 and Sunset Riders $750. Breath of Fire 2 is worth upwards of $1,200, and Aladdin, despite being one of the less notable titles here in items of rarity, can fetch up to $500 if in sealed condition. Meanwhile, Chrono Trigger is well worth over $600 in good used condition, so the factory sealed price is going to be much higher than that figure. It's an incredible find containing several holy grails of North American SNES and Genesis collecting. For more information about this news, head on over to nintendolife.com/news and look for Damian McFerrin's article yesterday covering the sealed SNES games unearthed after 27 years. That is news number 2 that we have covered for you. And finally, news number 3, just to cap everything off, a new announcement for our for our comic book lovers out there. Ladies and gentlemen, in an article by comicsbeat.com, the Hero Initiative brings JLA/Avengers. I'm going to say this again, Justice League of America/Avengers back to print for a limited edition run. In an article by Joe Grunenwald in February 16 on comicsbeat.com, last year, legendary artist George Perez revealed that he has stage 3 pancreatic cancer, fortunately, and that he is foregoing treatment in favor of spending his remaining days as fully as he can. Perez was a founding member of the Hero Initiative's board of directors and now the nonprofit organization dedicated to proving financial support to comic creators in need has announced that in association with DC and Marvel Comics, they will bring back one of Perez's most iconic works, JLA/Avengers, back to print for a limited softcover edition. The new Hero Initiative edition of JLA/Avengers will be a 288-page softcover volume with a cover price of $29.99. It will be limited to 7,000 copies and will be available to order through Diamond Comic Distributors. Rush solicited for release in March. That's next month. Along with previously released bonus material, including introductions by Stan Lee and Julia Schwartz, the new edition will also include a brand new afterword by Buziek. For more information about this, head on over to comicsbeat.com and look for the article written by Joe Grunenwald in February 16th. And that is our G3 news for the evening. Wow. What a set of news, man. Let's before we share our thoughts, Captain, what does our people in the comment section say? Nakamute ka. Wala. By the
comment
way.
section it is. I had to
speechless.
Yeah, I got speechless. I'm not gonna lie, I got speechless din lalo na dun sa isang balita na yun, no. They were like si Joshua was saying na is this part 1 of El Chapo's Treasure? Si Stanley na shock na rin eh. Oh wow, that news. Si Blim, sabi nga niya is FF3. Nakita niya kasi yung screenshot na yan, and tapos nagtatag na rin si Sandy ng mga tropa niya, guy ni Glenn Esquida. Welcome sa inyo guys. If you're watching, thank you for dropping by and spending time with us on a Friday, chilling out towards the weekend. Dahil dyan, and I know people are shocked, let's go ask, let me go ask you, as the LOTR specialist, gaya ng last week, we were talking about this last week, curious to know ako sa sitwasyon na to ng Warner Brothers or New Line Cinema to actually dun sa article. Ikaw ba as an LOTR fan, is it a good thing or a bad thing ngayon na they're just pulling off? I mean, they're doing this tug of war between Warner Brothers for the movies and probably the rest of the population, Amazon included, in attempt to getting din. I'm sure they will get the movies then.
Yeah.
Diba?
So with the whole Rings of Power coming out in Amazon, as a fan, I can't be happier that there's new content coming out outside of the books. I mean, I've read the books before, and obviously they're going to make changes outright. And like what I said, I think we also talked about this. We talked about this in the last episode. There's going to be a new anime coming out. It's about the War of Rohirrim, so it's going to be focused on the Riders of Rohan. If you guys are familiar with that. Tama yan, Sir Blim. Tag niyan. Doon tayo sa Minute Burger.
Of course.
Gusto ko yan. So I think the question that you're really asking is are we going to get rewarded because Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers is holding all the rights to the movies? Perhaps because it's already they've made a masterpiece already with Lord of the Rings, and that's why there's a lot of problems out there na parang ano ba yan, ba't ganyan ang itsura ng Rings of Power, maraming ganyan ngayon, maraming nagrereklamo eh. And I think it's more of the Saints company. By the way, the Saints company, just to let you guys know, the Salt Saints company used to be the one are the ones that sold the rights to Peter Jackson and Warner Brothers. So sa kanila nang galing yun. They're managing the Tolkien estate. They were previously known as Middle Earth, no. So they're sa kanila yon, and there were rumors that they were looking for studios to create, other movies. So with the whole Amazon coming out with the Rings of Power, I think this is just Warner Brothers saying that we don't, that's our thing. You're not supposed to touch it. And it sounds like the early days of the MCU to me. It sounds like the early days of the MCU, because that's how Spider-Man did not get in the Marvel, Marvel Studios movies to begin with, right? So it's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing because they've already established na ang ganda eh. Well, you cannot beat the Lord of the Rings in terms of quality. Well, of course, MCU excluded, pero at the time, that's a masterpiece. Until now, I consider it as a classic. So they're very protective of it, I think. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just hope that we get more of the content to be released. If they want, gumawa sila nung Silmarillion. Diba? Silmarillion is, by the way, the first age of Lord of the Rings. Yung lalabas sa Amazon is about the second age when the ring was made by Celebrimbor and Sauron. Yung pinanood natin, the trilogy, was the third age when Sauron died. So sana mapalabas nila. Ang ganda ng mga movies na yan. Ang ganda ng mga stories na yan.
Kasi in-announce nila yung if I remember it correctly, in-announce nila yung na to ng Warner Brothers, the War of Rohirrim, just a few days after na in-announce naman ng Saints Company na they decided. So talagang
they were shopping around.
Oo, parang ganun. Ang feeling ko nga dito is bago pa mapunta sa iba, mabuti pang sabihin na namin, hoy, amin to. Parang ganun ngayon na nangyayari. And this article we are sharing is just recent lang, just this week. And Super Bowl last weekend. And itong last weekend pinalabas nila yung second trailer ng Lord of the Rings. And siguro dahil maganda rin ang reception towards the trailer.
Right.
I feel na sabi siguro ni Warner Brothers, wait, baka sa iba pa mapunta yung pera, we might as well tell them na ho.
Ganun talaga magpera-pera ka. Multi-billion dollar endeavor yan. Diba? Papayag ka pang ganun-ganun laang. Diba? Hindi ako pwede.
I wouldn't. Kayo ba, chat? If you guys are in the chat, please let me know kung ano tingin nyo. May naligaw na...
May request si Madam Shield. Hello, Shield. Hello, Miss Shield.
Hey.
Hello po. Pa-shoutout po sa mga BTS fans. Shoutout. Ay, nandito na pala si Chino. Nahanap ko si Chino. O, yan. Katabi ko na.
Yan, no?
Katabi ko na si Chino.
Sisilip.
Ayan, kasama na. Chino, late ka na. What do you think, Chino? What do you think, brother? Bigote. Okay daw. Okay. Shoutout po sa mga BTS fans out there. Okay, shout out. Okay na yan. But yeah. I'm just a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. And I hope that we get to see more of that. And I really want to watch the Rise of Power, yung Rings of Power. Maganda yan. That's the second age. You would understand. You were asking, right? The last episode, sabi mo, ma-appreciate mo ba pa naglaro ka ng tawag dito ng mga games sa Lord of the Rings, ma-appreciate mo mas lalo yung kwento ano ba yung ring na yan.
Okay.
That's how the rings were made. That's the story of the Rings of Power.
That's good. That's good. And looking forward to it actually.
Yeah. But you know what I'm looking forward to is is we get to find something like this. Ito pare, matagal ko nang gustong tanong to sa'yo. Yung mga balak kong gawin sa buhay is gusto ko mag-ikot tayo. Right? I want us to go around and pick stuff from the Philippines because I know there are great places where you can get, you know, treasure troves, you know, yung mga bagsakan ng mga container sa Japan,
We were
yung
talking
mga
about that last time.
Di ba? Di ba?
Oo.
Yeah, and I know I just want to give a shout out to the people that we worked with in Popmag, you know, the Toy Collectibles, si Miss Margarita Ramos. Shout out to Margarita Ramos.
Hello.
To si Phil Sibonga, Laruan ni Pilo, yan, Katrina's Toy Collectibles. Decada was there, and you know, itong mga bagay na to that from the past. Sabi nga ni Trickster kanina is this the lost treasure of El Chapo? Kasi talagang Dude, back in the day, you would not mind. Kasi, you know, it was back in the day. The price were as is. Pero kung tayo makahanap tayo ng ganito, my God, if we find a trailer or a storage unit full of this thing, dude, supportahan niyo po kami. Magtatayo po kami ng sarili naming shop. G3 shop. G3P shop.
And all
G3 shop.
And all we do is just sell this,
Oh, doon na rin tayo magla-live selling na rin po kami. By the way, balak namin gawin yan. Supportahan niyo kami magla-live selling. Pero my God, when have you seen the video? Did you watch the video?
I did. Nagulat ako, yung mga parang ang lumalabas kasi dito is, you know, close mo lang and ilalagay mo ngayon sa itatago mo lang siya tapos only to find out years after na you got this set of games. Pero there are notables here. Mind you kasi nung napanood ko yung video, sabi ko, like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 3. I saw in one of the parts there, Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yung original and SNES at Sega release, di ba?
Yan. Tapos, obviously, sabi ko, tingnan natin kung magkano siya ngayon sa market, no? In eBay.com, I saw the brand new lowest price for a Street Fighter 2 Turbo is $900 US.
Di ba?
And
Shield, kung nandiyan ka pa, tawagin mo si Senpai Lee.
And if you have
malamang mabubuang yun.
If you have 10 of them like in that box, kasi ang daming duplicate na meron dito yung sealed na Aladdin, yung SNES na Aladdin. They're selling it at eBay for $300.
Oh, di ba?
And I just saw 5 of them in that box. Hindi pa nila pinakita lahat.
Correct. And those are just the notables, by the way. Those are just the ones that would pick a really extravagant price. Sabi ni Trickster sa comments, 30 years later, makikita natin na unearth will be yung mga 30 series na GPU. Well, you know, malamang may mga nagtago niya, mga animal. I mean, I would make it clear to everybody right now, my utmost deep and intense unadulterated hatred for those people who amassed all of these things that led to the GPU shortage. Kasi ang problema doon, if you unearth the 13th series GPU, it would be obsolete kasi malamang 30 years, nasa 50 series na tayo at up, di ba? Wala nang value yan apart from collection. Pero then again, it will still fetch a good price kasi nga, yan yung mga ninakaw. Yan yung mga tinago. Yan yung mga yung nakita sa barge sa Hong Kong na isang buong barge na. Nalala mo yun? Kinover natin yun eh.
Yung
sa Hong Kong, yung puro 3070.
And ngayon, kasi if it's for the nostalgia kasi, video games kasi can be played again. Kaya naintindihan ko rin kung bakit siya expensive. Ngayon, yung mga graphics cards na yan, pag nakita mo yan 30 years later,
mali mo, di ba? Mali mo. May mga may mga nagbubuo ng mga classic na vintage na computers. Just so they can play the old games. Malay mo, di ba? Yung ET nga di ba? I mean, if you heard about the ET in New Mexico, right? In the landfill in the New Mexico.
ET.
Yeah, that's the Atari ET that they unearthed in a landfill in New Mexico. Everybody thought it was a fucking rumor or a myth or a legend, but hey, you know, they found it. It's there, and when they popped it in an Atari 2600, it worked. Di ba? They were playing Atari, you know, in the middle of the desert. Nag-aatake sila doon. Yeah.
So,
I just hope we could do this, no?
oh yeah, pero for the for those who don't know yet, medyo tumataas ang presyo ng binibentang Atari sealed ET in a box.
Totoo?
200
Totoo?
US.
What,
200 US.
2600 or 5200? What Atari?
Ano to? 2600.
Okay, I understand. 2600. 5200 was shit. It's garbage. It's almost like the Cole Young sucks of the Atari line. So I'm just saying, but
Oo.
holy shit, yeah. God damn, really. Would you
Diba?
look at that?
And ngayon pa lang to.
$200.
Ngayon, we would be sharing you that link then for the price of the
200 po, tragis ka.
Gulat ako dito.
Naulol ako dito. I'm actually looking, guys. I'm looking at a photo of an actual Atari 2600 ET cartridge with slight box edging selling on eBay for $200 from the 1982 one, 199 USD plus shipping.
Yes.
Na medyo sumasama ang loob ko dun sa find na to, apart from the fact that I'm bitter that I'm not the one who found it. Pero even more so the money that I will never get because I know that I'm never gonna be selling it. Oy, si Almond, Reminisce, what's up, dude? What's up, man?
Hey.
Pa-shoutout kay Alpi. Ano sabi? Pa-shoutout kay Alpi Galedo. Paki Alpi Galedo. Alright, okay na yan. Yung brad, yung tunay na warrior, may medyo malutong-lutong na Paki. Welcome to this discussion, Barry. Pero one thing that made me happy, and you're right, you said that it has that nostalgic value because you could play it again. But you know what we can experience again? JLA and Avengers. Holy shit! I mean, here we go. Amalgam Comics all over again. If you guys remember in our last episode, in our previous episode back last year, we talked about the Amalgam Comics and how the DC and the Marvel Comics characters got into one place. And they got their own run eventually. And here we finally have an announcement. The Hero Initiative brings it back for a limited run. It may be a lot. Medyo mukhang marami, no? Pag sinabi mo 7,000 copies. 7,000 ba?
Yeah,
I think it's 7,000.
It will be limited to 7,000 copies. Pero and it's gonna be in March. So parang quick announcement na to na And it's 288 pages.
Correct. 288 pages, soft cover volume of pure nostalgia of what went down when the Justice League of America went and met the freaking Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes. I remember reading this comic book, and they're gonna do a rerun of it, and we finally get to see these two iconic teams. And it's not a remake, by the way. They're not changing anything. It's a reprint of the original version, and they're selling it for $30, give or take $29.99 in March. So paunahan na lang tayo dyan, Gino. Paano ba yan? Because you are only ahead right now. Anong masasabi mo dyan? Gusto ko din. Hindi, dyan ka lang. Kami, dyan ka lang. Ako mauna dyan.
Pero ngayon ba, obviously, pag binili ngayon to, agawan to. Feeling mo marami ang 7,000 pero with a lot of nerds out there, I'm definitely sure people will alam mo yung extent na na mga bots.
Personal mo ba ako?
No. Let's talk yung mga bots, 'di ba? You know how people would use bots na para makakuha ng mga shoes, tickets, mga this might fall on the same thing. If it's gonna be 7,000 copies and it's gonna be on a limited run lang. Kaya lang obviously the other side of the story is obviously si George Perez na had pancreatic cancer, and obviously he announced that. So sabi ko parang medyo sad siya to think na kailangang ilabas tong na to ng may karamdaman yung isa sa mga artist.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's quite sad, but this is one noble way of I wouldn't want to say naman going out with a bang, pero Mr. Perez has had a huge contribution to the comic book community when he was one of the people who worked on this comic book a long time back. And I mean, it's nice. It's nice to see this again. It's a good homage. It's a good legacy to his work.
Yes.
And the simplest way for us to support it is to get your copies now, coming out in March.
Oh yeah.
JLA X Avenger. Yeah. Sabi ni Almond, dati bigote lang, hindi gumagalaw kay Chino, ngayon buong buko. Press yan, press. Official yan, oh. Tingnan mo. Ano yan, press ng Money Popcorn. Shout out to Sir Freddy Tan. We visited Money Popcorn back then. Pero yan, naka-press ID yan. Nag-field work yan ngayon, pare. At basting kami rito eh. Walang iwanan, Brad. Kakasama pa rin. Ayan, nandyan siya. Medyo madumi na nga lang. Di pa naliligo. Pero, galit na galit to pagbalik. Napagpe-pestahan siya pag wala siya. Kaya, ingat-ingat ka, ka-absent. Ka-absent sa shit. Sa show. Pero yun nga, I mean, the news right now, it's really geared towards what we'd loved in the past, and we are huge proponents of retro stuff. We're huge proponents of enjoying things that have come to pass, and with Justice League, JLA/Avengers coming back, we get to see the adventures again. We get to see how it was like when these two teams first met, and again comes the question of, well, who is better, Thor or Wonder Woman or She-Hulk, may mga ganyan eh. Birdman versus the Falcon, Quicksilver and the Flash, di ba? Meron mga ganyan eh. Pero would you have imagined say, let's say the two teams crossed over, right? And would you think Diana, Wonder Woman, would have fallen for Tony Stark just the same way as she has a crush on bats? That's a question. Being February and all that, we're just considering all of these things. Magkaka-crush din kaya siya, si Wonder Woman kay Tony Stark, given that she has a crush on bats. I'm not saying that she's a money person, pero what do you think?
Siguro Tony Stark has obviously money and obviously some class in him. So siguro yun ang habol ni Diana din kay Batman to some extent. Kaya siguro maybe
tayo na habol ni Diana, prinsesa yan, mas maraming pera yan.
Hindi, I mean, remember, prinsesa siya pero in a place na walang lalaki.
Wow. Okay. Go. So ganon. So ladies and gentlemen, again, we're entering yet another round of sexism, an unfair commentary because of our bigoted views.
No.
Welcome. Pero kasi, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be talking about stuff that kind of it's a feel good episode today, don't you think? It's a feel good episode. Being that Chino is joining us always in spirit. We're going to be talking about what it's like for us to have a very romantic kind of experience back in the day. And join us as we talk about these stuff here at the very good G Spotlight. Love. Simula ng mga bata, mga kaibigan, tayo po ay we have gone to a phase. Alam ko yung mga nanonood dyan, particularly si Stanley at si Almond, may face yan na medyo they were enjoying watching The View in the television and help them grow up sa pagkabinata. Kumbaga, tinatawag na kaakibat sa pagkabinata. Alam niyo na yan, mga kaibigan. Alam niyo na yan, mga
Ikaw, pre, alam mo yan, pre.
Bahala na kayo dyan kung kayo ang kung kayong mag-isip. Pero back in the day, romance is everywhere, and it's not just in your telenovelas and Fernando Jose's and your Marimars, no. It was also very prevalent, and believe it or not, comic books, anime, video games, love is always a quintessential factor in the narrative, in the story, and that's what we're going to be talking about today in celebration of Cupid's month. We're going to be talking about the relationships that inspired us, the love stories that made us hope for our own in our own geeky and nerdy ways. Itong mga pairings na to, pare, it's something that most people look forward to in order to help them reach their adulthood and stimulate the pituitary gland. Diba? Yung mga stimulate, no? So I'm gonna open up with a question, pare. Amongst the kingdoms, the multiple kingdoms of nerddom and geekism, sinong all-time favorite couple mo? Excluding Julina Magdangal and Wawi de Guzman. Alam kong yun ang paborito mo. Pero
never man.
Di ko nga sinabing Pilita Corrales saka Eddie Gutierrez nung sa Pagita Films.
Oh, man.
So, talaga. Si Kwenta, 1950s. Pero of all the pop culture couples out there, whether it's on TV, comic books, movies, gaming, anime, cartoons, kayo din, people in the chat, please throw in your all-time favorite couple. Let's talk about it. Ikaw ba, sino ba sa'yo? All time of all time.
Ang hirap kasi pag sinabi mo all time dahil marami. Diba? Pero if I have really a top one talaga na couple talaga na alam ko, it's gonna be, Kerrigan and Raynor for StarCraft.
Wow! Kerrigan and Raynor for StarCraft. Yes! Bakit? Kasi, sabi ni Stanley, napa-omen si Kapitan. Kasama niya ibig sabihin, imagine mo si Kerrigan nung binata, nung grabe ka.
Pero the story
na pare, Zerg yun, Zerg.
I know. but although you did say na she was a Zerg, he was a Terran before.
Tao nga naman si Sarah Kerrigan.
Nag-start sila ni Raynor na Raynor was trying to save Kerrigan in the process, no? Tapos dumating dun sa point, there was that time kasi if you guys saw it on my stream, nangyari kay Kerrigan noon, she was fighting against the Zerg, tapos iniwan siya.
Yep. That was, if my memory serves me correct, that was the Battle of New Gettysburg, when the Sons of Korhal were supposed to help them eradicate the Protoss of Tarsonis. Tapos they were protecting yun, di ba? They were protecting the Zerg, and then at the end of the game they got swarmed by the diba?
Tapos
right?
little did na galit na nun si Raynor. Kala niya wala na si Kerrigan, di ba? Tapos along the process of the game, bigla silang nagkita na ngayon only as arch enemies na. Na ngayon parang si Kerrigan was out for revenge na ngayon, and Raynor obviously still has a soft heart kahit alam mong things didn't go well. Parang he's still having this small light of hope na makukuha niya si Kerrigan from the Zerg.
True. That was his whole MO in StarCraft 2. His entire MO.
According nga kay pare Trickster, Zerg na may high heels si Kerrigan.
Yun yung ini-imagine ni Cap, Brad. Yun yung stimulating the pituitary glands. Yung high heels ni... Tayo na yung Queen of Blades pa na Kerrigan yung pinagnanasahan niya. Yung talagang may panusok.
So,
yeah.
She reached out to both Raynor and Mex telepathically. Pero that again was the time na later on na parang hindi ko na ngayon ini-expect na they would use that particular couple papuntang StarCraft 2. Diba? And hopefully kung magkakaroon pa ng isa pang StarCraft makita yun. Kasi in the StarCraft 2 nung napanood ko, medyo malabo pa yung ending, how they would end up unless I didn't see it wrong. Chat, I encourage you all to participate and maybe come up with your own power couple, or tell me kung alam niyo kung ano na nangyari doon sa dalawang ngayon. Pero of all couples na I have, at least as far as my old memory is concerned, I would put them on top of my list.
Correct.
Ikaw ba?
Ako, pare, with the eternal struggle of everything. Medyo mahirap din.
Other than
mahirap
Kai
din
and
sa akin
Pip,
pumili.
What's your, other than Guy and Pip, what is your favorite?
Wala kang maloloko dito, Kap. Wala kang maloloko dito. Dalawa lang tayo rito, wag mo na akong lokohin. Alam ng madlang people, alam ng tao, Brad, you are my elder. Okay, doon na tayo. But before I was so rudely reminded of my age, medyo I've been around for quite some time din naman eh. Pero I can't say what my actual number one is. I cannot. I mean, even if I wanted to, I'm just too much of a nerd to pick one. But one of my favorites, in the entirety of all of these things, it's kind of a funny thing, is Bulma and Vegeta. Kasi
wait.
Kasi
I was thinking you with Goku and Chi-Chi or probably something else, diba? Pero bakit?
Kasi ano eh, they're Goku and Chi-Chi are it's a good couple, you know. Goku, the innocent, super strong guy. Chi-Chi is the very, mean-spirited thing. I came to that conclusion in the I don't know if you've watched the episode where Vegeta's brother came in, si Tarbol, and he was trying to run away from these two former Frieza's henchmen na kasi lakas na daw ni Frieza and all that. Tapos ang sabi ni Master Buten, ni Buten Roshi, sabi niya, Saiyan men have a peculiar way of picking their wives. So narinig ko yun, oo nga no, parang lahat ng mag-asawa na Super Saiyan, na Saiyan, medyo may quirk yung asawa nila, and of all the people na nagpakasal sa Saiyan, maliban kay Tarbol, ang asawa ni Tarbol, robot eh. Alam mo ba yun? Yung asawa ng kapatid ni Vegeta, robot. Pero when Vegeta was nursed back to health, parang parang nadaan niya sa number one, nadaan niya sa pagkamasungit niya, si Bulma. Pero dun yung tunay na walang mainit na tinapay sa mainit na kape. Ay, walang matigas na tinapay sa mainit na, sorry. Gusto ko kasi yung pandesal na matigas na eh. So, sinasawsaw ko yun. So, walang matigas na tinapay pare sa mainit na kape. Kahit ba ako mo Prince of Saiyans ka, kahit pa mag-Super Saiyan Ultra Ego ka pa ngayon sa Dragon Ball Super, pag sinabi ng asawa mong uwi.
I mean, are you feeling that? Is it a I can relate vibe coming from you?
Shut up. Okay? Shut up. Hindi, pare kasi the personality was there. Vegeta's personality, I don't care, makikipag-away pa siya kay Bulma and all that. Pero eventually he gets to do what Bulma wants him to do. And they would fight and they would bicker. But eventually the Prince of Saiyans, the most prideful of all the characters there, is married to unequal to what he would consider to be, apart from Kakarot, to be a worthy person na kaya siyang pagsalitaan ng ganun. And I really like that. It's humbling for Vegeta. But yes, the other aspect is kasi sinulot niya si Yamcha. Sinulot niya si Bulma kay Yamcha.
Ayan, nakita mo may nagko-comment na doon, no? Bigla kagad, nung sinabi mo kagad yung couple mo, nag-react agad mo si Trickster. Yamcha got robbed.
Yeah, true. Yamcha got robbed because they were actually boyfriends. And look, Yamcha didn't do anything. What are you gonna do? Really? Like, fucking Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans, can turn into Ultra Ego. Lalabanan mo yun? Brad, marami pang babae dyan. Marami chicks dyan. Oh, look at Yamcha now. Yamcha is now, sa Super, artista na siya eh. He's now he's now a martial arts action star. They turned out to be good for him. Yes, he was robbed, but it was all for the better. I wouldn't contest it. Kung si Goku yan, malamang pwede ko pang mauto. Kaya kung Vegeta, gusto mong mga final blast ka dyan pagka lumapit ka. Maraming mga bagay and also in comic books, no? Comic books is also something that's really, really interesting. Something that I really enjoyed following the love story of. Is apart from the popular ones like Lois and Clark and Batman and Catwoman. Did you guys know that Storm, at one point, X-Men Storm, was married to Black Panther, T'Challa?
What?
Yeah. It was during the time where the Avengers, we covered this in our previous episode. There was Avengers versus X-Men. There was ceasefire. And during that ceasefire event, parang na-rekindle nila yung relationship nila. And that was a perfect match for me for T'Challa and Storm. Kasi solid eh. He was royalty, she was a weather goddess. And it was just perfect. Ororo Monroe became queen of Wakanda. Yeah. Basahin natin to. Sabi niya, napotek na pagutom tuloy ako sa tinapay. Linti ka! Wala akong masabi ano yung power couple top 1. Okay. Si Vegeta, sabi ni Almond, si Vegeta ang inspirasyon ko kahit gaano pa cool kids ang isang lalaki. Mas aangat pa ding pag badass ka. Oo, tama. Totoo yan. Pero again, walang matigas na tinapay. Kaya puta ultra ego pag sinabing uwi. Magmamaktol naman yan. Tapos pag nagalit, pupunta lang ng training room, magsisira ng mga robot. Alam mo yan? Kasi mainit ang ulo niya sa asawa niya. At the end of the day, Pero ikaw pare, sige, comics muna tayo. That was probably for me one of the less obscure ones. And by the way, self-promotion aside, meron pong article na nasulat dyan about the unknown couples. Check out our page. Check out 8 West. Thank you. Ikaw pare, sa comics, sino ka? Sino siya?
Not really into the ng comics pero manga I can actually give out.
Okay. Manga, okay. Sige, tingnan natin. Ayun naman tayo sa visionin mo Beautiful Boys.
Look.
Si ano ba yan? Si Sakuragi tsaka si Gori.
Hindi.
But inspirasyon ko yun si Gori, kaya Gori Gaming. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, go.
Pero sa akin, it's gonna be si Ippo tsaka si Kumi. Hajime no Ippo. Maganda to kasi in the manga kasi 'di ba nagkagusto siya dito sa girl na to. Hindi niya alam na itong si Kumi kapatid pala nung nakakatakot niyang kapatid na si Mashiba.
Si Mashiba.
And
si Mashiba.
Ngayon, dahil
flicker job. Si Mashiba yung flicker job, di ba?
Yung patagilid na ganon.
Tapos yung flicker job.
Oo.
Tangina sa pangit ni Mashiba, no? I'm not that good looking, but god damn it, take a look at that guy. Search mo.
Right.
Search nyo mga kapatid. Mashiba.
So, kung nakikita ni Ippo, parang unang-una hindi niya ma-imagine na kapatid niya yun. Tapos pag naiisip niya na kikita niya ganun si Rio, that's Rio Mashiba by the way. Pag nakikita niya kapatid niya, parang I cannot believe na kapatid mo to. And
Mukhang Diablo. Hindi gagawa ng mabuti.
Tapos syempre si Ippo, the innocent he is, 'di ba, na never siya nagkaroon ng sa babae, ng interaction sa babae, except nung kinaladkad siya ni sino nga ba tong malaking mama na to? O basta yun, syempre may love si Ippo yung innocence ni Ippo versus yung experience ni Kumi, tapos Rio Mashiba gets in the way. Hindi naman gets in the way, pero syempre.
Right.
Alam mo, pinagtatanggol lang naman yung kapatid niya. So yun for me sa
Correct.
For manga.
May binubulong si Chino. Oy, alam niyo daw ba, isang trivia galing sa kapatid nating field reporter. Alam mo ba, there was an episode where they were making fun of Ippo Makanochi's pipi. Kasi inaasar nila yun Inubaran nila. Galit na galit sila, ba't ang laki daw ng edits ni... Kaya panalo naman siya doon. Lamang naman siya doon.
Si Takamura yun. Nakita ko sa anime.
Si Takamura, galit na galit siya. Sinulatan pa. Ang haba ng sinulat nila. Siya yung hiya siya, di ba? You know what reminds me of that? And since you mentioned, anime, one of the teary-eyed moments I got sa isang pagmamahalan between two anime characters, mga kaibigan. Si Alfred at si Mikaela. Na in Japanese, it's Kuwabara, and of course, Yukina in Yu Yu Hakusho, Ghost Fighter. Lalo na nung gulpi na si Kuwabara, gulpi na siya. Yung kalaban niya, yung leader nung mga elementals, yung leader ni Jin. Yung bato, di ba? May bato yun eh. Wala na siyang powers, wala siyang energy. And he stands up to this guy. Knowing full well that he might die. This guy jumps in the sky, charges up to perform his, meteor strike attack, the strongest of all his attacks. Starts to dive towards Kuwabara, Alfred. Mamatay na siya, tatanggapin niya ng ganun. Nakita na si Mikaela, walang niya. The power of love, hinawi niya yung leader, bro. Sabi! Puta lahat sila. Alam mo, lahat sila natunganga. Miski Taguro nagulat. Alam mo, no? Tapos pumunta lang siya kay Yukina. Hinawakawakan lang ng konti. Iba talaga ang kapangyarihan ng pagmamahal eh. Pagbalik po, lakas na ng sword niya eh. Reiken niya, lumabas agad. Yun talaga, maluwa-luwa ako sa katatawa. Pero that's an allegory to what love does to somebody who's really love struck. Yung bigla ka nang nakakagawa ng mga impossible na bagay. Oy, Chino, I love you too. Chino, hi Chino. Hi Chino, how are you? I love you too. Okay, I love you ka. I love you ka. I love you. I love you. I love you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Like trope stuff kay Ipo.
At least
so after all
company.
Swerte kami pagka nagkatuluyan. Oo nga, swerte talaga, laki. After all, si Big Mara Ipo yan. Oo nga naman. Anong gentle? Putang ina. Walang gentle, lalo na, anong bato? Di ba? Wala yan. Even now in the current iterations of the MCU, very recently WandaVision is a huge love story of its own, na talagang sumikat because of representation now with WandaVision in the MCU. Sa anime madami rin yan eh. Puta, sino ba naman makakalimot kay Erica, Richard, diba? Panahon mo yan, di ba nung nagsushooting pa lang sila sa panahon mo yan?
So, kaya eh. So, they had on Channel 9. I cannot forget this, no? Kasi pag pinapanood namin...
Putang ina, RPN 9 pa eh.
Channel, hindi ko na sinabi yung pangalan. RPN 9. How many times Richard was yelling out Erica, no? Na to an extent na umaalingaw na lang sa tenga mo. Pero syempre back in the day, 'di ba, you have limited access to a cartoon na may slight ng love story, and Daimos is one of them. Doon mo rin makikita yung I mean the battles, alam natin hindi siya talaga hindi siya romantically talaga eh. Pero it happened along the way. Kaya siguro umukit siya sa akin eh. Pero ayoko lang banggitin kasi umaalingaw na. Pagka binabanggit natin yun, umaalingaw na naman sa tenga ko.
yung edad mo? Teka, may tanong si Felix. Maganda yung tanong ni Felix. Hindi ba considered na pedo si Wanda nung pinatuloy na si Vision? Hindi lang, ito, opinion ko lang. Again, madaming sinasabi sa akin yan kung sexist daw ako eh. Pero mag-usapan lalaki lang. Hindi pedo si Wanda.
Okay.
Hindi pedo.
Sige.
But she is engaging in self-love. Whatever the word is, it starts with the same letter of her father, M, right? Para lang yan nagbabanay sa labdal. Yun na lang isipin. Hindi naman tao si Vision. So, by the same token, by the transitive property, she is just executing and practicing self-love. Hindi po pedophilia yon. Hindi po. Kahit kahit born yesterday, I know the joke. So he was born yesterday, so he's technically a child. No. You wouldn't consider a vibrator a child. But anyway, that is the answer to your question,
Yeah.
Felix. No?
Yung by the way, Felix, no, nung nakita niyo yung pangalan niya doon, he is having the screenshot of Moon Knight. I bet he's really excited to the movie.
Sa lahat ng mga siraulo po sa comics, yan ang mga maastig, si Moon Knight. Yan. May follow-up question eh. Guys, phone in question. Please send your questions in chat. Maganda yung mga ganang tanungan na yan eh. Tanong, anong tanong ni kapatid na Kapatid na Felix, pakibasa, Brother Josel. Brother Josel. Brother Mike Bilarde.
So, paano yung kay Thor and Jane?
Madali lang yan. Ayon sa Citas 2.4 ng Marvel Comics, wala pong problema sa pedophilia si Thor and Jane dahil pareho po silang adult. Pero pwede mo na rin niyang isa-isahalin tulad sa yung uncle mo na matanda tapos ng chicks ng babae sa ng chicks ng 18 years old sa beer house. Parang gano'n na rin. So, I mean, they're 60 years old.
They're at that age.
Oh, 60 years old, 70 years old, kumuha na 18. Walang masama ron. Basta marami ka lang pambili ng ladies. Pero maganda yung tanong mo. Salamat kapatid. Pero wala pong bawal po dito yan sa amin, sa kapatiran namin. Bawal ang pedophilia.
Pero syempre, gaya ng how Felix answers the questions, ini-encourage din namin kayo na mag-throw in din ng questions.
Magtanong kayo po ay libreng makipagsagutan sa amin. Magtanong.
Ito to.
May kuro-kuro.
Nagtanong ulit si Felix, no? Let's see if I can quickly pop it up on our screen, no? He answered, not the best, but I'm really interested on how the MCU will pull off tambalang Daredevil and Echo. Kasi, di ba bulag si Mac Murdock tapos si Maya? Medyo na...
Right. Because they already failed with Matt Murdock and Elektra in the original Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. I hope that they would be able to pull it off with the recent incarnation of Netflix's /MCU's Matt Murdock. Yun na yung bago ngayon. But let me just circle back to you. In the world of gaming, okay? In the world of gaming, Thor and Jane has a counterpart pero baligtad. Liu Kang and Kitana. Liu Kang is your average male 20 to 30 year old. Kitana is 10,000 years old. Brad, if you're into hindi ko naman sinasabing si Thor parang si Thor at si Jane parang yan si Captain Mike at si Miss Venus. Gusto ni Miss Venus ng matured. So, yan. So, gusto rin ni Jane si Thor. So, si Liu Kang, he just wants a really matured person. 10,000 years old. If you watch Mortal Kombat, the first movie in 1995, 10,000 years old daw po si Kitana. Sabi.
If that ain't matured, I don't know what is.
I don't fucking know what you're talking about if it ain't matured. For 10,000 years old and you're still a kid, kill yourself. That's why nga, I saw a meme before na bakit daw lahat ng vampira mayaman. Think about it. Almost every vampire in pop culture depictions they're always, I don't know, rich or, there's just some treasure somewhere. Ang sagot daw doon, simple lang. Well, if you have eternity to live and you're still fucking ass broke, step into the sun and do us a favor. Pakamatay ka na. Just step into the sun. It helps. So you have a lot of these things that really drove the imagination of a lot of people, having these kinds of romantic things in celebration of Valentine's Day. There are a few things that have not been mentioned. Of course, the ever so popular Cloud and Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, the tragedy / non-tragedy. Yeah. You also have, of course, your more popular to the Philippines, which is Squall and Renoa. Eyes on Me. Yeah, mga ganun. Ang daming pinakilig ng mga binata. Doon lang ako naka-realize, pare. It's the only time that I was able to see, like, teenagers, yung mga isipin mo mga tropa magkakasama tayo, tapos mga brusko, ganyan. Imagine mo si Almond. Imagine mo na lang itsura ni Almond kung nanonood ka pa.
Nanonood
Tapos
yan.
nung nakita sumayaw si Rinoa at si Squall, puta kinilig. Alam mo?
There is that certain point in our in every in every gamer na kinilig doon sa ano na yun. Kahit katiting.
Diba?
Because maganda kasi yung implementation ng ano na yun. We were talking, sabi mo pa nga sa akin, kasi I also had we were talking about this earlier before we went live. Sabi niya, Kap, medyo bago-bago na yung pinili mo na couple sabi ko.
Makapaluwang mo ka. Banggitin mo. Sino yung sinabi mo?
Sabi ko sa kanya.
Raynor Kerrigan. Okay na.
Bakit tapos in my list, sabi kong ganun, I got, syempre, Carl Johnson and Catalina, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Sumasa sa Andreas ang putang ina.
And then, tayo doon sila. Hold on. Let me ask you this. Nung back in the 80s ba, meron bang isang power couple lang don't tell me it's E.T. and that detective.
Hindi,
it's not a love story.
Hindi pare, yung Pitfall. Wala naman magjowa doon tama, kakampihan kita ngayon dyan. Bakit ganun?
It was just later on lang in the, I think in the 90s na, nung nagkaroon na ng mga video games na may mga big stories, different stories, and including love stories that developed and produced couples in the field of gaming. Dati wala yan eh. May makuha ka bang love story sa Duck Hunt? Wala.
The what? The ano?
May love story ka ba makukuha sa larong Duck Hunt? Wala.
Yung love story ng aso. Yung aso. Tama. Well, yeah, kasi it became the whole romance trope only became popular around the late 80s, early 90s, and then moving forward from that. Pero nga, if you think about it, in the earlier iterations of video games, there really aren't a lot of romantic interests between people in pop culture, especially in these kinds of things. Sa mga Pitfall, Ninja Turtles, ganyan, Power Rangers, wala masyado. Power Rangers, si Kimberly tsaka si Green Ranger / White Ranger, magjowa yan. Yeah. Actually, if you read the comics now, Lord Dracon, which is the corrupted White Ranger, ang right-hand woman niya, yung Ranger killer na Pink Ranger. Magjowa sila pero yun yung tagapatay niya ng ibang Power Rangers. May mga comments tayo. Screw Squall and Renoa, Zell and Library Girl with Pigtail. Yun yung pinopormahan ni Zell. Kung naglaro kayo ng Final Fantasy 8, yan. Relevant is Adol and Fina from Ease. Yeah. Ease series.
Adol and who?
Ha? Adol and Fina from the Ease series.
Okay.
Redhead swordsman in his 20s, yeah. Yan. Oh no, the 80s still had couples, Ghosts and Goblins. Yeah, right. Ghosts and Goblins, Mario and Peach. Ghosts and Goblins is princess, it's the same thing. Link and Zelda, diba? It's even confirmed now that Zelda and Link are together, You know what I really like? Talagang badass couple. Metal Gear Solid 3, Naked Snake, and Eva. Which is ngayon sa Phantom Menace, puta Star Wars pala yun. Sa Phantom Pain, si Big Boss, tsaka si Big Mama. Yan dalawang yan eh. Meron pa yung scene na suggestive as hell when they were trying to pull out the tracker from Snake's back. Yun ang talagang magjowa. Sino mga fans ng dyan? Yung mga fans ng Metal Gear dyan? I was also told, and I was reminded, thank you, courtesy of my brother who reminded me. Johnny from Metal Gear? You know that guy who, nalaro mo yung Metal Gear Solid 1? For those who played Metal Gear Solid 1, yung henchman na natae, yung kailangan niya sumiar, tapos iikutan mo siya, para ma-distract, kailangan na sumiar. Ang naging asawa nun is si Meryl, yung operator ni Snake. Nagpakasal pala sila. Nagkaroon sila ng anak.
Who knew?
So if you search Johnny from Metal Gear Solid, he's the guy who had stomach problems and had to take a shit so that you could go around and sneak past him.
Mm-mm.
He married the Meryl. Meryl is the female protagonist of Metal Gear Solid 1. Ang solid niya. Some timelines na siguro nila ni Link and Zelda. Yeah, but I think in Breath of the Wild, in particular, sabi ni Felix, yeah, particularly in Breath of the Wild, they're kind of like together. Together.
Mm.
With everything that's been going on with all of these relationships, ano yung pinaka-ayaw nyo? Yung parang hindi kayo sanay. Oh, sabi ni Alan Fardo is here. Cherry and Zenki. Of course! Di ba? Alakol ni Diva. Sakuko ni Bajura.
Right. Yung mga
Zenki. Solid yun, Zenki, pare. Alam mo bang tawag nila sa akin dati, Zenki?
Where?
Kasi maliban sa mahilig akong kumain ng binhi. Yes. Hindi daw kamao ang
that doesn't sound right.
Kamao ni Baluga. Ganun daw sabi niya sa akin. Tarantado yung mga yun. Yeah. Cherry and Zenki is nice. Of course, Eugene and Jenny, how can we forget? We'd have to mention that some point or the other. One tragedy that I really like, or that's really prominent to me, if you guys play Warcraft, it's Jaina and Arthas. Ganda rin ang love story. Diba? Tragedy yun. Alam mo ba yan? Jaina was the mage. And Arthas, Warcraft. Si Lich King.
Okay, I'm falling behind.
Okay. So in Warcraft, Warcraft, right?
Okay,
Orcs and Humans, right? So Warcraft, right? So there was this guy. His name is Arthas Mithendil. He is the Prince of Lordaeron, right? He's the poster boy. Imagine
poster
him.
Boy. Okay.
Crown Prince, heir to the throne, blonde with a hammer, all around Captain America, good guy, right?
Right.
And he meets this really beautiful Jaina Proudmoore. She is a beautiful, slender, really intelligent mage, elemental mage. And their love story is your typical fantasy medieval boy meets girl, and they fall in love and they become friends and they start adventuring together. Kaso, ang twist doon pare, si Arthas, na-corrupt siya nung what the fuck is the Frostmourne.
Okay.
During the events of Warcraft 3, the Lich King, he became a Death Knight, si Arthas. So naging kalaban siya, in short. And he had to fight. And Jaina was trying to save him and redeem his soul. Pero eventually, siya yung naging pinakakalaban sa story ng Warcraft 3. And they could not be together anymore. Kasi Lich King na siya. He's now wearing he turned out to be the bad guy. And it was just a tragedy because they were almost betrothed. They were about the fiancé na sila halos eh. Pero imagine you now have to slay your would-be husband because he is now the embodiment of evil. Tapos ikaw in love ka pa rin sa kanya. And the saddest part about it is that it's Arthas at the very bottom of his cold, frozen heart. He's heartbroken that he cannot be with Jaina anymore. Kasi there has to be a Lich King all the time. So, I like that story. I just have to say that Blizzard tells really great stories, really great lores. And this one in particular stuck to me. Ikaw, meron ka bang tragedy na gusto?
Not that I know of. I mean, ako kasi ayoko kasi hanggat maaari, the worst siguro probably tragic I had was yung bukod dun kay Kerrigan and Raynor na until now parang I was hoping for a good ending. It's gonna be Taido Senyuna.
Malungkot yun, Brad. Dahil na malungkot yun.
The biggest regret I had with that is dahil nung period na hindi ko nabili yung Final Fantasy because I was so focused on buying other stuff, diba? So, syempre, what better way to search it is search it online. At least yung mga cutscenes, diba? And when after kong pinanood yung story nun, sabi ko talaga sa sarili ko, damn. I mean, it's sad now when you're watching it. Then, paano pa kung hawak ko yung controller when you're playing it? That would have been, that would have been more tragic.
Right.
So, before I continue, no, so shoutout ko na rin pala dito yung mga hinatak ni Stanley. And also, a trivia rin from Trickster. Pero si Jan muna. Jan Alexi saying hi. She's Lex. PH.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for the notify, brother. Thank you.
This is sister.
Oh, sorry.
Baby
hello,
Lex,
sister. Gino, magsalita ka kasi. Huwag kang ano.
Yan. Since kararating nyo rin lang, we were asking our viewers, no, your best couple, TV, movie, anime, cartoons.
TV, movie, anime, cartoons,
join
comic books,
us.
you name it.
Baka nga mamaya kasi, and the reason why we're encouraging people here, kasi baka mamaya, there might be a couple na either, ba't hindi ko naalala yan? Or, hindi ko alam yan. Ngayon, alam ko na. And obviously, we're encouraging you people to join in, di ba? So yeah, shout out sa inyo.
True.
Welcome to the show. Sige.
Nanay-nanayan ko po yan si Jan Alexi. Sir, nanay-nanayan ha. Yan ka na naman. Yan ka na naman. Damida Yoshiro-kun. Speaking of Japanese, a match made in heaven or probably in hell at this time is Shishio Makoto and Komagata Yumi.
Oh God.
If there's any romance made to burn together in hell,
literally,
it's the dedication of Yumi to Shishio Makoto. Biruin mo sa movie, pare, humarang siya, and you know, you'd think that she was trying to stop the fight, but really it was a distraction so that, you know, Shishio can stab Kenshin through her. If that's not dedication, apart from the years that Yumi had to take care of Makoto's bandages, di ba? And it may not have been explored properly in the manga, in the anime, or even in the movie.
In the movie,
but that couple is something that I really, really enjoy watching together because they're just so perfect for each other.
Pero yun nga lang, medyo masakit nga lang yung ending nun. Pero it could have been, kung if they were in a different, probably storyline, different timeline, ang ganda siguro ng combination na yun eh.
Oo. Pero nung natapos yung Kyoto arc, di ba patay na silang tatlo, they're all dead. They all met in hell. And Shishio was welcomed by Yumi, and of course yung alalay niya. And he said, Come with me. Where are we going? We're going to take over hell. Okay. Alam mo, sobrang follower mo doon sa iniirog mo. Proud ka pa mag-take over kayo ng impyerno. Ito, meron daw tragedy si Trickster. Sabi niya, here's a love tragedy for you. Rockman Volnut will never get to see Roll and Tron again in another Mega Man Legends game.
Why?
Because they're not making it. Again, right? You suck. That's not part of the story. But then again, I agree. It's sad. Hindi na natin makikita. Hindi na natuloy eh. Diba? Hindi na natuloy, sayang.
Alam mo yung feeling ko na lahat na na-discover ko kay Trickster is something new to me. Kaya pag may binabanggit si Trickster, parang either I'm so curious to know because hindi ko alam, or I am so afraid na alam ko na it may come up with something else. Different interpretation.
You can expect that from me. You can expect that. Let's move on to TVs. Let's move on to TV shows.
Wow.
Let's move on to TV. Let me start off by saying Fox Mulder and Dana Scully of the X-Files. X-Files, mga kapatid, kung hindi nyo alam yan, for the younger audience members that we have here, the X-Files was a TV show back in the 90s where they explained extraterrestrial stuff, supernatural stuff. They were part of the government, and they were special agents. Special Agent Scully and Mulder started out as just regular partners, and eventually they became lovers. So that's one couple I would not forget. From the TV, live action TV. Apart from, of course, Buffy and Angel, which is, kind of late 90s na yan. Pero syempre, Fox and Mulder pa rin ba?
The thing
Go,
with,
go, go.
the thing with Fox and Mulder and Buffy and Angel, they're way extremes eh.
Sorry, Fox and Scully. Mulder and Scully. Sorry, Mulder and Scully.
Mulder and Scully, rather. Parang masyado silang serious na to some extent. When you, alam mo yung, you have access to TV, to local TV at cable TV, makikita mo yung mga channels na parang, oh, it's so draggy. Parang you just wanna switch to another channel and para ma-entertain ka, diba? Kasi it happens on prime time eh. Yung mga adults na nung mga time na yun ang nakaka-experience nun. My TV and TV couple sa it's
guys, 1950s sa Pagita Pictures presents John and Marcia.
If it's gonna be light lang naman, it's gonna be Mr. Sheffield and Fran.
Oh, Fran Froilan
from the TV show The Nanny.
Right. The
And
Nanny. Wow, that's fucking shit. Holy shit. The Nanny.
okay. And
God damn. I remember our TVs having that, knob to turn when it was on TV.
Right.
Channel 7 nata yun.
That's 23, Studio 23. When Studio 23 was trying to be one of the shows na pinapanood ko sa Studio 23 because they're introducing US TV shows eh. 7 and 2, hindi na sila masyado nagpapalabas ng mga yung mga US TV shows or any other Studio 23 went innovative and chose that. And siyempre, pag bago yung channel and The Nanny is something na I look forward to. But it's a story of this maid, Fran Drescher, tapos obviously itong si Mr. Sheffield, the owner of the house who has kids, diba? Alam mo yung love-hate relationship nila na yun, the chemistry that happened in that sitcom. Eventually led them to na nagkatuluyan din sila eventually.
Dito na ako sa I Fell in Love with My Genie. I Fell in Love with My Genie tsaka Family Bond Trap.
My God, that's parang tama yung sinabi niya tama yung sinabi ni Trickster dito eh. I haven't effing heard that show in a long time, The Nanny.
Fucking The Nanny? What are you talking about, motherfucker?
I mean, I'm in that ear. So, you want something light, you want something funny, diba? And ayaw mo naman na masyadong...
Oh, you want something funny? Okay, I'll give you one. Chucky and Tiffany Valentine. It was such a short-lived story, the Child's Play Tiffany kind of insertion, but they had a son, which is this dweeb-looking doll.
More like an emo-looking, that's
right,
Glenn.
Glenn, that's his name.
Okay,
Glenn. Match made in hell. Perfect. It was Chucky and Tiffany Valentine. He can't go back to his original body. He's been trying to do that. Oh, Bella, give me the power. I beg of you. Ganun siya. But what he did was he transferred Tiffany's soul into a doll. And that did not work out for him because Tiffany became his enemy. It's your standard Bride of Frankenstein kind of story. Matindi rin yun, Bride of Frankenstein. Ni-reject niya si Frankenstein at the end. Diba?
Sorry. Alam mo, minsan nakita ko yung comment ni Trickster dito. He said, I used to always watch I Dream of Jeannie whenever it came on. I love Dream of Jeannie. Screw you.
I Dream of Jeannie. I'm pretty sure you dream of something, all right. Sabi ni Alan, Chuck and Tiff are the best. Right? I know, right? Not even Jason Voorhees got a girlfriend. Freddy and all his perverted things didn't get a girlfriend.
Make them look poor and
single
and
like
diba?
chumps in the new line cinema monsterverse, right? In Daredrome's roster, only Chucky got himself some booty. Remember that. Yeah, and it's Chucky's duty to please that booty.
Okay.
But then again, he died. Unfortunately.
There goes your tragic story right there.
You want something old here. If you remember Highlander, Duncan MacLeod.
Yeah,
right?
Duncan
MacLeod.
Yan.
One of the things that I couldn't forget was a Friday evening. I was watching with my lolo in our sala, and I think Josh was still like really young at the time. Si Tessa, yung long time girlfriend niya, namatay. Grabe. I mean, what would you do? And I'm pretty sure he's so used to it by now that Duncan MacLeod's an immortal and he cannot die unless you cut his head off. But when Tessa died at the hands of his, rival, medyo ano siya dun eh. Cloud/Aerith moment yun. You wouldn't expect it to happen. Ayan, you haven't heard something in a while? Highlander, The Gathering, TV show. Back in Channel 2, there can only be one Duncan MacLeod. MacLeod. Yeah.
Grabe yung pag naisip ko yung intro music nun. From
Here
Queen.
we are, born to be kings, and the princes of the universe. Hey! Tapos magsa-ispadahan na gano'n. I am immortal. Putangin na. Gino, bumalik ka na. You're missing out on a lot of fun. Talagang papanoorin mo yun, pare. Highlander, solid yun.
You can't go wrong with that.
Here's a sick pairing. Did you know that, of course, Batgirl, right? Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, right? Barbara Gordon, Batgirl's original boyfriend was Dick, right? Dick Grayson, Nightwing, Robin, right? First Robin, Nightwing.
Okay.
But in a story in the Killing Joke, right? Barbara Gordon, before siya nalumpo ni Joker, Joker shot her in the belly. Like a few nights before that incident, she did it with Batman. And when Dick found out about it, and it's another issue. Talagang mag-away silang dalawa. Right? That's a love triangle you don't want to get yourself involved in. So Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, slept with Batman, and she was afraid that she was pregnant until she got shot by the Joker and turned her, paralyzed, and eventually became Oracle. Pero that was crazy.
I'm actually shocked. I didn't know that can happen.
Right? Would you have imagined Batman and Batgirl? I mean, it makes sense if you listen to it. pero
kasi minsan parang pag iniisip mo kasi when you were a kid, pag iniisip mo like si Superman at saka si Supergirl, like they were like thinking it's a tandem. They were thinking like kapatid, ganon. Kaya nung kwento mo yan, sabi ko, wait. What?
Totoo. You search it. It's really fucked up because it wasn't supposed to happen. Right? It wasn't supposed to happen.
Speaking of not supposed to happen, we got our question, by the way. We posted the question, ask everyone, viewers asking their favorite couple, TV, anime, cartoon, or movie. Stanley answered Spider-Man and MJ.
Yeah, well, I'd expect that from you, Stanley. You're a Spider-Man fan. So,
yeah.
But how do you feel about Spider-Man and Black Cat? Di mo alam yung si Peter Parker, mga kaibigan. Sticky.
Kala mo gigiki lang yan, sticky rin yan.
Sticky yan, Brad. May Black Cat yan at the side. No?
Yeah. Almond naman had his favorite couple is Frieza and Goku.
Well, it's a hypothetical coupling. Why not?
Why not?
It's a love-hate relationship.
We got Trickster saying Senel Coolidge and Chloe Valance, Tales of Legendia.
Nice. Tales of Legendia. Cool.
Pag kasalanan ko rin to, sinabi ko si movie. I did not say not local movie. Kaya ang sagot ni Felix Ackerman, si Marvin and Julina, and Sanchai and Dao Mingsu.
Bakit hindi? Ikaw nga, Janine Marce.
No.
Sabayan na natin. Gomez Adams, Morticia Adams. Masaya.
And speaking of Spider-Man, Mary Jane is such a cheater in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. Sabi ni Felix.
Black Cat is horror. Di naman. Grabe naman. Medyo,
Di
ba naman yung horror?
Don't make
Horror.
Don't make it look like it's such a no. Parang kasama naman ni Mary Jane. But Alan Samonte Fajardo said Sakura and Shaoran.
Sakura and Shaoran from?
No, he just said
Shaoran?
Sakura and Shaoran. I think that would be ano ba to? Cardcaptor Sakura.
Shaoran Tsubasa.
Ayun.
Shaoran Lee.
Cardcaptor
Shaoran Lee.
And
Teka, may sinabi si Allen na medyo nagustuhan ko. Reka Hanabishi and Yanagi. Kabisado niyo ba yung dragon? Yan ang tanong ko sa inyo.
8 dragons, no.
Yung 9.
9 ba?
Oh, there are 9 flame dragons.
Okay.
9 flame dragons. Yan. Tapos yung sinusulat. Kaya mo yun. Usong-uso yun dati. Pare, tatakbo kang ganun. Tatakbo ka. Tapos pagkakaharap mo na yung kalabang mo, bigla kang, hop! Bigla mong sasapakin. Gaganon ka muna. Nadare! Saya! Diba? Tapos pag nagulat siya, ang gagawa nito? Sabay sapakin mo bigla. Nadare! Saya! Homura! Setsuna! Madoka! Rui! Koku! Reshin! Pleto yan, Brad. Pleto yan.
Tapos yung favorite ni Rafi na nung naalala ko ngayon, ang malanding si Miyaka at saka si Tamahome. If you're not from the 90s if you know that. If you don't know that.
Oo, tama.
And I just had to put in the malandi at the first part for Miyaka. Because of the story, if you haven't Fushigi Yugi, watch it.
Fushigi. Yung lagi lang, ang gusto ko doon si Nakago yung Tamahome nung seryo. Si Nakago, ang powers nun pare. Magigipag-chuk-chak siya doon sa mga yung 7 members niya para lumakas siya. Tapos, di lagi nang ginagawa yun. Nakita na si Miyaka, yun naman ang hinabol-habol niya. Ito namang si Miyaka na hindi mo naman maintindihan kung talagang ano ba namang merong kati sa katawan ito. Talagang paikot-ikot eh. Tamahome, kay Nakago. May pakis-kiss pa yan. Kaya galit na galit sa kanya. What's your name? Yung ni Miyaka? What's her name? Yung
no.
Hindi, yung babae. What's her name? Ano pangalan nun? Mga kaibigan? Yung babae.
Siya yan, pero may sinasabi dito si Rafi.
Search here eh. So, Miyaka kapangalan ng friend ko yun. Ano ba yan? Wow, so ikaw si Tamahome? Ganun ba yan? Ganun ba yan?
ang mga sinaunang, si Julie daw, si Julie.
Si Julie. Kaya galit na galit sa kanya yun eh. Ay, makontento ka naman. Gusto mo pa pati yung akin eh. Diba? Kaya galit na galit sa kanya yun eh. Speaking of magical animals, BTX. Yan ang kaagad sa pagkabinata ng mga kakilala ko. Alam ko, si Trickster, yan. Umuwi na maaga yan para makapanood. Kung lalabas ba si Karen sa BTX.
What?
May scene si Karen dun eh. Yung blood transfusion nila ni pangalan nung BTX. Mga kaagibat sa pagbibinata. Yan. Saan napupunta yung usapan natin mga kaibigan?
Pero hindi, I mean, ibig sabihin nun talaga napapasarap yung usapan natin. Bring on your best couples, no? May pop-up question tayo dyan. Feel free to answer. Encourage you.
Ayun, TP Takamiya. Yun. Si Raulo! Totoo naman. Totoo naman yan.
Totoo na si TP Takamiya o totoo si Raulo doon sa
both. Diba? Both. Ito for our wrestling fans. There is no couple ever more famous whose love shined inside and outside the squared circle. not Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
That's just the later
That's
part
not
na lang eh. No.
later na lang yan. No. Not Latino Heat and China, the ninth wonder of the world, Eddie Guerrero.
Even...
No, that's probably the second. Pero out of honor and respect, it's the Macho Man Randy Savage and Elizabeth.
Oh
yeah, brother. Bonso, di ba? Wala nang mas magjojowa level pa, magmamahalan level pa.
They started diba? That, no? Naalala ko nung bata ko, no, kasi syempre yung kung if you were watching the previous episodes of G3, which by the way is on YouTube as well, we mentioned the part there where yung nanonood kami ng lola ko ng wrestling. Oh, and syempre, so yan yung isang love story na alam mo yung syempre pag yung lola mo nakaupo lang na ganun sa ano, tapos nung nalaman na nag-propose si Macho Man.
Nag-away pa nga yan sila, diba nagselos siya kay Hogan. Tapos it was the mega powers, the explosion of the mega powers. Oh yeah.
Umano siya noon. Umuo siya noon.
Diba?
Umuo siya noon.
Dude, I would not know. When I was a kid, I would not have known it was just kayfabe. And by the way, kayfabe is the term to, it's just storyline. Pero paniwala ako doon, Brad. Bata ako.
Pero ano yun? Napapalakpak ang lola ko noon nung nangyari yun. Kasi it felt good on her. Kasi napapanood niya yung kay Macho Man eh. I mean, kung ang favorite ko noon si Hulk Hogan, ang favorite niya noon si Macho Man, Randy Savage. Diba? Kasi shade,
talaga.
Ganun. And yun yung mga bonding time namin eh. Pag uwi siya, maalala ko yun kasi uuwi yun, puputulin niya yung session niya sa Mahjong. Para lang manood ng TV kasama ko.
Talaga.
Kaya it's one of those notable moments. Kaya nung nabanggit mo yun, it obviously brought back memories. And when I think of it now, kung hanggang ngayon hindi nila sinabi na scripted yun, maniniwala ako na it's true.
Diba? That's what it is, right? I remember this video. There was this one guy crying. It's still real to me, damn it! I mean, it's still real to me. You know, I mentioned, you know, Eddie Guerrero, Viva la Raza, Latino Heat, you know, and nililigawan na si China, and then eventually China became the girlfriend, no, kahit married siya, and it was just so believable that talagang alam mong iisipin mo na yan, jowa ni Latino Heat. Kaya nga naging Latino Heat yan, Latino Heat. Kasi talagang ladies man siya. Pero nung yung kay Macho Man, when it came to Macho Man Randy Savage and Elizabeth, after the mega powers, you know, fought, nag-away sila about that. Tapos nagkaroon ng bagong manager si Macho Man. I think yung may I forgot her name. If you guys could just tell us what her name was. Natalo si Macho Man. Kasi inupakan siya ng babae, yung bago niyang manager. He was just beating Macho. An already beaten Macho Man was lying in the ring, and she kept kicking him out of the crowd, and in pure, you know, love, out of the crowd jumped Miss Elizabeth, tumakbo siya sa ring and beat the shit out. Ang pangalan ng babae na yun? Beat the shit out of the...
Hindi siya talaga, parang ang nangyari lang dun sa manager na yun, parang pampagulo lang eh.
Yun yung parang pinalit supposedly ni Macho Man kay Elizabeth. Naghiwalay sila supposedly. Tapos hindi na nakayanan ni Elizabeth. Naiyak ako. Tumakbo siya from the ring and she beat the shit out of this manager, and she helped up Macho Man. Tapos maalala mo yung itsura na umiiyak si Macho Man like, you came back for me. Tapos nung inangat niya na si Elizabeth, they're finally together again, and yung music niya na yung music ni Macho Man nagplay. Sabi ko sa'yo, standing ovation yun, pare. That's just shit.
Back in the day, that was a feel good thing when you're watching wrestling, kasi nung
for sure, man, for
80s and early 90s, ang alam lang nila sa wrestling is suntukan, bugbugan, that's it, diba? Sino yung pinaka last man standing kasi. Kaya nung inintroduce yung couple na yun, and I think they were the first couple of wrestling. Yung click
I would say they're the first, yeah. I would say that they're definitely they're not the first, but I would say they're the premier couple
Mm-mm.
of wrestling. Macho man.
Kaya,
Let me tell you something, brother. Uh,
I can
sorry, go ahead,
I can close my eyes and imagine your voice like that too. Nagano yung boss mo.
You're going nowhere, son. Parang gago.
Voice that out.
Uh,
Put your picture in Randy in Muscle Man.
by the way, ito po pala si Balbinis.
Val,
Balbinis. Hello
Val,
ladies.
say it properly. Val Venus.
Valpinis. kung di si Ravishing Recruit. Puta, isa pa yun, pare.
Ravishing
Ravishing Recruit, pare.
Uh,
Hello, ladies.
Ravishing Recruit and who's that guy? Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Di ko makakalimutan yung data na yan. Pero,
yan,
yan
sabi
yung
ni Allen, sabi na, Mamoru and Usagi. Yan. Yan ang mga gusto ko. Tarararat, tarat. Diba?
Kasi,
Na si Mamoru.
yun, sabi ni Stanley, it's Sherry Martel.
Sherry Martel. There you go. Thank you.
Wow,
You.
I feel so
Thank
old
you.
saying that name. I mean, alam mo yung if it's back at your head, brings it back. Parang yung feeling ni Trickster kanina doon sa Danani. Mentioned it. And then, wow, it's all came back to you. Sabi,
Si Goldust. Malamang naka-shattered dreams to ngayon.
that's another statement.
Chop off your pee-pee. Solid. Yan, isa pa. Sailor Moon, how could we forget? Usagi and Mamoru. I mean, talagang, ayan yan yung isang anime na pinapanood ko noon na I was very happy that I was able to share with my daughter because my daughter started liking anime when she watched Sailor Moon.
Oh,
Tapos,
yun ang
talagang,
first niya.
that was her first anime. She really fell in love with it. And that kind of brought her into the whole anime art thing. Tapos ikaw din. I mean, I'm very happy that it was mentioned because, Captain Mike is into Bishonen. Beautiful boys. Si Mamoru is si Tuxedo Mask, pare. Yan. Pagka, hindi ko nga, ano ba powers? No? Wala namang powers yun, He will throw a rose.
Throw a rose and then yun na yung mag-i-eliminate doon sa mga kalaban eh. Yun yung, that's the idea.
The power of distraction. Hindi distraction, He will distract the enemy. Kasi nga babae yung syempre magwapuan sa kanya. Parang yung reverse harem jutsu ni ni Naruto. Kaharim, pag lalaki yung kalaban na puro babae. Pero pag yung goddess yung kalaban, puta natigilan naglabasan yung mga beautiful bishonen. Tayo na napadugo yung ilong. Diba?
And you know how it is, diba? Sa sobrang dami, ito pa.
Ayan,
sagot ni Rafi dun sa natin is love-hate relationship ni Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade.
Truths. To the point that nagkaanak sila, which is Cassie Cage, and in Mortal Kombat 11, they could not believe how it happened. Si Sonya would not believe that, she fell in love with Johnny. It's classic yun. Classic yun na opposites attract at one point. But they got divorced eh. That's the thing. They got divorced somewhere along the line.
Ito.
Tuxedo Bulma. Tuxedo Bulma.
Ito, sabi niya, ni Trickster is the anime that was somewhat different from the source material is Sakura Wars.
Uy, Sakura Wars astig yan, man. Pinanood yan.
The RPG dating.
Solid yan. Magandang, alam mo, saan ba natin pinanood yan? Animax ba yan? Alam ko Animax yan.
Oo, it's AXN. Started with AXN first.
Oh, yeah. AXN. You're right. I was AXN. Another thing that I remember watching in AXN was Ninku. Shuriken, Atsu Shuriken, yung the penguin boy. Ano pa ba sa AXN? Dami mga ganda sa AXN eh.
Eto, may isa pa dito and welcome din nga pala sa tropa natin si Archie Manalo.
Parang Archie, what's up, man?
He mentioned something with the Appleseed series, no? Who's this guy? Biaeros and Dunan ng Appleseed.
Uy, Appleseed! Aba!
Yun yung Appleseed na ano. Hindi ko, syempre hindi ko na alam yun, di ba?
Mga kaibigan, if you'll have to help us out a little bit here. Yung mga pinapanood kasi ni Captain Mike noon. Astro Boy. Yun, yung pinakaunang anime Grandizer, di ba? Bakit? Ako rin naman. To be proud about it, no? Grandizer, Mazinger Z po. Ang pinaka-recent sa kanya is yung Bishonen na hentai. So, kailangan sorry.
No,
sorry.
It ain't
sorry.
like that.
Hello ladies. Bishonen.
Pero kasi syempre yung access mo to more of the Japanese anime. Syempre makikita mo yung mga yan. NBJ, makakita lang na maganda lalaki kahit alam mo Sailor Moon yung palabas. Bishonen pa rin ang tingin niya doon.
Oo naman. Bakit?
So,
totoo.
And,
ito, this is an example of polyamory. Okay, one of many love. Yeah? Si Brock tsaka si Nurse Jenny. Sa lahat ng episode po ng Pokemon, si Brock. Brock,
okay.
The Stone Pokemon trainer, right? The gym leader, Brock. So madly in love with all the Jennies he meets, regardless of
kung saan mang
where he
lugar
is.
yun. Oo.
Kung saan man na. Kasi isa lang si Nurse Jenny. Iisa lang ang buka nun eh. Si Officer Jenny pala, sorry. Iisa lang yun eh. So, laging siyang nai-inlove dun sa Jenny na nakasalamuhan niya. Whether it's in Cerulean City, Vermilion City, in Pallet Town. As long as there's a Jenny there, he's in love with her. That's the crazy part of it. Mga mention natin. Games, pare, games. You know what? I'll give you one for games that I really, really enjoyed.
You haven't mentioned yours.
My favorite video game couple, probably, without question.
Medyo nahirapan ka, no? Do you feel that? Sobrang dami.
But the one that I really like is Mai Shiranui and Andy Bogart. Always. Fatal Fury, King of Fighters. Yeah. Si Mai Shiranui, everybody knows Mai Shiranui.
Wait. Very, gifted.
Very, yes, well-endowed. Well-endowed Japanese ninja girl.
Okay.
With
I didn't know that there was such a thing. That it was a thing.
Yeah. So Andy Bogart is the younger brother of Terry Bogart. So ever since naman, Andy kasi is very shy and coy about it until eventually they gave into her feelings. Pero when it came to fighting game couples, first yan, Andy Bogart, Mai Shiranui. Mas nauna pa yan kay Mortal Kombat, or at least mas prominent pa siya kaysa kay Liu Kang and Kitana. Kasi at the start of the story sa Fatal Fury, may gusto na talaga si Mai Shiranui kay Andy. And Andy is this long-haired, stoic, kind of silent type guy who protects Mai and eventually finds a way to express his love. But in true Japanese fashion, mas mahiyain ng lalaki kaysa sa babae. Which to the enjoyment of all my binata and particularly my brother during his Game Boy days. I'm sure he has spent a lot of time contemplating on the relationship, particularly of Mai Shiranui. Front heavy. Kumbaga sa Tamiya, pare, mabigat yung forward drive. Kumbaga sa Tamiya, forward drive. Kumbaga ganyan. Forward drive, mas mabigat sa harap. And is boyking his master's daughter. Yan, games ha. Kazuya and Jun Kazama. Yes. Thank you, Alan. Thank you. Sabi ni Joshua, nagkatuluyan si Brock tsaka may nakatuluyan. Talaga nakatuluyan ng isang Jenny. Talaga.
I didn't know that. It was a thing.
Yes, Alan, that's my favorite, Bulma and Vegeta. Officer Jenny.
So
go ahead.
May kwento rin, may mga sumasagot din dun sa poll natin na Rafi mentioned Krillin and Android 18.
Oy, yun ang cute.
From being a rebellious android, yun yung specific na mention eh. From being a rebellious android to a gentle but badass wife.
Yan. Kaya kayo mga tropa pips, huwag kayong matatakot at ma-overwhelm sa very And this is take it from us, all right? Take it from us. I've been married. Captain Mike is in a relationship, and do not be scared
Do not be scared.
of your wife, even if she's intimidating, because at the end of the day, she will never be a murder robot like Android 18. Pero dahil, di ba? Isipin mo kung yun ang asawa mo, magkamali ka isa lang. Tayo ina Brad, sabi ko sa'yo. Pero dahil nadaan ni Krillin sa pagka-cute niya di ba?
So, are you more of a Krillin guy, Krillin and Android 18, or are you a Vegeta guy? And
Vegeta Bulma all the way.
Okay,
Vegeta Bulma all the way. I find their relationship to be Krillin and Android 18's relationship to be quite interesting and quite really lovely to think about it. Kasi Krillin knows he can never best 18. They both know that 18 is the stronger character, faster in every way. And she has unlimited energy. Yun yung lamang ng Android. Unlimited yung energy nila. And Krillin is just what? Krillin is this, stunted guy who happened to be Goku's best friend, who is considered to be the strongest human in the Dragon Ball series. But he knows he cannot best 18. And 18 finds it cute. And if it's not true love, right? And that's what they say. You fall in love, you know you're in love when you find the imperfections just as attractive as the as the good things in your partner. Kala niya puro may kalokohan. I'm in a relationship with Jesus. Archie Manalo, nag 3 o'clock player ka ba? Kaninang alas 3. Wag mo kami niloloko, pare. Jesus Christ, pero nandun ka sa madilim na bagay ng internet. Joshua Ganaya says, remember Clean's motivation for becoming martial artist was to get chicks and it paid off. Do martial arts. Tandaan niya, mag-martial arts kayo, Brad. Yun ang pangako ni Krillin. He's sumali siya ng tournament so that he can get chicks. And he got the best one of them all. A cybernetically enhanced chick. Yan. Pero dito kasi sa G, pare, we would like to 3 o'clock habit bro sa channel 2. Yung sa channel 2 ba talaga o sa madilim na bagay ng internet? Ay, pare, nakita kita doon, kagrupo mo ako, wag kang mag-alala. Oh, Holy One. Oh, Immortal One. Anyway, bago po tayo maban ng Facebook, we just want to share with you that you're in love. Because of all the characters that we've mentioned here, Kazuya is the devil, basically. Pero nagkaanak pa rin. Diba? Kazuya. Even Heihachi, the ultimate asshole dad, had a son and had fallen in love with Kazumi. And I could never forget that one moment in the Tekken 7 trailer, nung naalala niya si Kasumi, yung asawa niya, there's a stream of tears. Just one. Talagang, just one tear. Talagang alam mo kahit kupal tong tao to, umiibig pa rin. At ang pag-ibig po ay isang malaking bagay. Isang napakalakas na force to be reckoned with in the world. And don't you let go of that. Do not let the romance die. Because you know that when you're in love, is that you are also in love, not just the things that made you fall in love with the person, but the ones that you hate. I realize this in all the characters that we have. Vegeta doesn't like to be bossed around. He's a fucking prince, right? But he tolerates Bulma. Bulma is a diva, diba? Pero meron si Vegeta. And all of the characters that we've mentioned can be applied in real life. Is that the main point? You're in love with the person. Is that if you're just as equally in love as baffled, that's why the fuck do I love this person despite the fact of they have this, and you are also in love with that. Di ba, Kapitan? Kapitan, ganyang mga kaibigan.
Yeah.
Dahil po dyan mga kaibigan, kami po aalis na. May mga gagawin pa po kami. May nag-aantay.
Hindi naman. I mean, we have masarap yung usapan eh. We can talk about this all day long. Pero syempre, we have to keep it short for the podcast. Kasi we have so many things to discuss, and obviously we ran out of time.
Right. Unfortunately, yeah, we actually ran out of time. So, but thank you very much, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. It was a real cool discussion with the three of us. Chino, anong masasabi mo, Chino? Yan. I-plug na natin si Chino. If you want to talk more about love, head on over to the Pillow Talk The Pillow Talkers on Facebook.com/The Pillow Talkers. Chino is a member there. He hosts and he co-panels with an awesome group of guys that talk about relationships and stuff like that. It's hashtag better than a normal fucking conversation. Head on over to Facebook.com/The Pillow Talkers PH. Yes, sabi na sinaktan ni Bill si Bulma, nag-rage mo si Vegeta sa anime. Pero yun mo yun. Kung di mo ba naman mahal yung tao talaga, alam mong ikamamatay mo sinapak mo. Diba? Yun ang pag-ibig. Yan ang pag-ibig ni Vegeta.
If that ain't
Salamat
love,
sa usapan.
we don't know what it is.
Andyan pala si Chino. Ito si Chino. Ayan, kasama natin. Ikaw naman, batiin nyo nga si Chino. Ito si Chino, ayan o.
Yeah.
Ayan, diba? Hello. Bigote. Pillow talk. Diba? Nagsasalita siya, mga kaibigan. But Captain Mike, say goodbye. What are your last thoughts for the evening?
Obviously, in whatever platform it may be, gaming, comics, manga, TV movies, cartoons, anime, alam natin na may mga conflict lahat ng tao, whatever platform they're in. Pero the love element is definitely there and will stay there. Pero hindi lang yun it doesn't have to be just romantic love. It could be love of any sorts. And if it's shown naman sa lahat ng platforms and it's gonna be there. And we will see more of it in the future, no? In our next podcast na pag-uusapan yan, we'll have more of that. And we encourage you to join in the conversation. Don't forget to obviously check out our Linktree pages, our social media pages, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and obviously Facebook. Papasalamat na rin pala ako for kay Converge being our being so steady. I love you guys. Papasalamat din ako sa lahat ng nandito, nag-follow. Ang dami ninyo na. They were like more than 100 days na sila nakafollow sa atin. And GGSS mga pogi, sabi ni Archie, sabi ni Trickster, one last couple I should mention is Phoenix Wright and Sister Iris. I don't know who. I know Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. Phoenix Wright. I
don't know the Sister Iris part. Fuck the other ships. Those two are made for each other.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. In the name of Chino, Noch, Bigote, our third co-panelist, this has been another episode of the G3 podcast. Check us out next week, Friday, same time-ish, 9 o'clock Filipino time. We'll start, but this is BJG. That's Captain Mike. And we'll see you in episode 40 next week
of the
G3 podcast. Gamers, Geeks, and Good Times out in 3, 2, 1. See you later. Bye-bye.